This video will break down the 10 most expensive cities in America, examining a range of factors, including median home price, household incomes, and average salaries, so you know what to expect if you're considering moving. Knowing this, we are going to see which are the 10 most expensive cities in America. Number 10. Miami, Florida. Also referred to as the Sunshine State, has long been known as one of the most popular retirement destinations in America. Miami, which is tucked between the Everglades and Biscayne Bay, is attractive for those looking to relocate because of its beautiful weather and sea air. According to data from the United States Census Bureau, the Miami metropolitan region is home to nearly 6 million people, with a typical household income of $51,347 on average. There is also a bustling harbor where hundreds of cruise ships launch, where you might also see some of the priciest yachts owned by the wealthiest citizens of the city. Miami is home to hundreds of important enterprises in addition to being a mecca for American tourists and a significant economic engine. You should be able to afford the estimated $3,851 monthly cost of living for a family of 4. Number 9. Los Angeles, California. Some of the wealthiest actors in the world call Hollywood, in the heart of Los Angeles, home. The cost of living isn't the lowest in America, as one might anticipate with so many celebrities living there, but if one moves away from the flash and glamour of the movie business, home prices can be found to be more reasonable. With an estimated monthly budget of $3,832 sufficient for a family of 4 to get by comfortably, the 9th most expensive city in America has a cost of living equivalent to Miami. The median home value in the downtown Los Angeles metro region is $1,150,000, while the county's average median home prices are $795,000. Housing costs vary based on where you live in Los Angeles. In stark contrast, the median property price in Beverly Hills is almost $4 million. These varying costs are a reflection of the diverse neighborhoods seen in a large metropolis like Los Angeles, where moving from a wealthy to a gang-infested neighborhood can cause drastic changes in living expenses and median income. As a result, Los Angeles is a city of sharp contrasts. The affluent areas of Hollywood serve to hide the effects of poverty and crime while also making this one of the most costly towns in the state. Number 8. San Diego, California. In Southern California, from Orange County's southern borders to the Mexican border, San Diego is another pricey American metropolis like Los Angeles. San Diego, the second most populous city in the state, has long-standing ties to the military and has recently emerged as a hub for biotechnology and healthcare. Residents pay a comparatively high cost of living in comparison to residents of other cities, with an annual median household income of $83,985. The average cost of living for a family of 4, including transportation, healthcare, and other bills, is estimated to be $3,592. San Diego's higher-than-average housing expenses, which have risen significantly in recent years, contribute to the city's high cost of living. San Diego's median home price in 2021 was $743,000, while the median rent for an average apartment is $2,610 per month. Number 7. San Jose, California. San Jose, which has a population of slightly over 1 million on average, is renowned for its pleasant environment and for being home to some of the top biotech and IT companies in the nation. The existence of Silicon Valley is likely the main factor contributing to San Jose's high cost of living, making it a major attraction for young professionals seeking employment with top tech firms. The high-profile status of these Silicon Valley sectors is reflected in the city's typical household income of over $100,000, but the cost of living is also 68.1% greater than the national average. One of the main factors in San Jose's high cost of living is public transportation, but this is partially mitigated by the city's excellent healthcare system and affordable utility costs. The expense of living in San Jose is largely accounted for by housing, with typical home prices of $1.1 million, significantly more than the national average, and average down payments of $49,000. Number 6. Oakland, California. The cost of living should be at the top of your list of considerations when moving to California, and Oakland is no different. If you need access to San Francisco and other popular Bay Area locations but don't want to pay the greater cost, Oakland is a more inexpensive option. In comparison to some of the other pricey cities, Oakland, the largest city in the East Bay in the San Francisco Bay Area, has a relatively small population of 440,646. The typical home value in Oakland is $953,536 and is significantly more than the national average of $389,400, despite the fact that the median household income is around 23% greater in Oakland. Number 5. Washington, D.C. The nation's capital is a draw for federal government workers, with several departments, lobbying businesses, and think tanks giving 700,000 inhabitants jobs. Defense contractors, law firms, and industry trade groups all contribute to the local economy, as one might anticipate from a city with significant political weight. The Census Bureau's economic analysis shows that Washington, D.C.'s median household income is $86,420. The average price of housing is $452,400 according to Washington Data and Research, despite the fact that daily cost of living expenses, including those for utilities, transportation, and healthcare, are below the national average. Washington Data and Research also notes that the housing market is quite competitive. An overall cost of living that, according to some estimates, is as high as $143,000 per year, which is typical for a metro area with so many national institutes, adds to this high price. Washington, D.C. is home to some of the most powerful people in America, which should come as no surprise given that it is the hub of political and financial power thanks to the Federal Reserve Bank. Number 4. Boston, Massachusetts. The average yearly salary for residents of Boston is $69,240, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, while some positions in the city's information and technology industries can easily bring in more than $100,000. The high cost of living in Boston, which is especially impacted by an expensive property market, necessitates these high salaries. With a typical house value of $719,537 and a rent of over $3,500 per month. Boston, the state capital of Massachusetts, has a higher cost of living than the national average, with the least amount suggested to feed one person coming in at $408.17. This includes costs for groceries, restaurants, and other everyday expenses. The ongoing gentrification process, which makes neighborhoods more desirable and raises buying prices elsewhere, is a major contributor raising the cost of living in Boston. Number 3. Honolulu, Hawaii. Hawaii is renowned for its stunning, sand-covered beaches and ideal climate. Despite the fact that Hawaii's capital city is the most remote large metropolis on Earth, as you might anticipate from living in a paradise-like state, the cost of living increases much over the national average across a variety of parameters. Because of the island's remoteness, a lot of the food and other requirements of everyday living must be imported, which contributes to the high prices. In Honolulu, the average property costs over $1 million, while the average rent is over $2,941 a month. These high costs are the result of a number of reasons, including a lack of new house construction and borrowing rates that are lower than typical. Nevertheless, those who can afford to live in Honolulu enjoy the city's wonderful climate, delectable food, and surfing-friendly beach. Number 2. San Francisco, California. San Francisco, known for the Golden Gate Bridge and an eclectic cultural scene, is another Californian state renowned for its thriving tech economy. The high cost of living in San Francisco is impacted by the well-paid tech professionals who make far more than the national average, as is the case with many of the other most costly cities in California. Additional employment is generated by the financial services industry, which also contributes to San Francisco's high median family income. 2 working adults with 2 kids would need a typical family income of $152,026 to meet their cost of living, according to the living wage calculation for San Francisco. This is equivalent with the high home costs in San Francisco, which can regularly cost around $1,500,000 and keep on rising every year. Number 1. New York City. Nobody will be surprised to learn that New York City is the most costly city in the United States. Practically everything there is more expensive, from housing and utilities to dining out and transportation. Along Silicon Alley, there are a variety of media corporations, Wall Street financial institutions, and up-and-coming biotech and IT businesses in addition to world-class colleges. The average annual salary in New York is about $81,000, but because the cost of living there is 129% more than the national average, a high pay does not always equate to a luxurious lifestyle. Manhattan is the most costly borough to live in of New York's 5 boroughs, with rents there average $4,140 and homes regularly costing over $1 million. Those who can afford it are rewarded with one of the world's most important cultural centers. Some have even called it the global cultural capital. And that's all, folks. I really hope you enjoy the video. See you in the next one.